Hey guys, welcome. I'm Dr. Laura Ricci. I'm a doctor of physical therapy and nationally board certified health and wellness coach, specializing in functional nutrition, women's health and insulin resistance, and an essential oil educator and leader with doTERRA International. Thank you guys so much for being here. And if you're watching the replay, welcome to the replay. We have a giveaway for one lucky US viewer watching live, so stay tuned with us on all the details how to win, which we'll talk about at the end of the class. This is going to be an interactive workshop, so if possible, I would urge you to create the time and space to really dive into this. Grab something to drink and a pen and paper, turn off your notifications or silence your cell phone, and go to a place where you'll be undisturbed because we're going to be talking about so much good information. I don't want you to miss any of it. And really, why is this class important? Well, there are approximately 80,000 toxic chemicals registered in the United States, which is kind of crazy. So according to the Environmental Working Group, the average newborn baby has almost 300 known toxins in his or her umbilical cord blood, which is wild. Numerous culprits contribute to toxicity. This includes heavy metals, a poor diet, stress, medications, artificial fragrances, which we'll talk about, environmental toxins, so many things. And our bodies are under a big toxic load every day. And you might be experiencing signs of toxicity if you're dealing with fatigue, muscle aches, joint pain, gas, bloating, or headaches. So we want to start slowly addressing these issues, and this class is going to show you how, and we're going to go over some specific tips on little things that you can do to reduce your toxic load throughout the day. So we are going to dive right into this information on reducing your toxic load. And again, I'm so glad that you guys are here and welcome. I'm so glad you're jumping on. And this is a really important thing to just kind of remember. I like to kind of start off with just a little quick medical disclaimer that the information in this presentation, it's not intended to replace a one-on-one relationship with a qualified healthcare professional, and this is not medical advice. What I am sharing is really intended to be knowledge and information for my own personal research, education, and training, and my experience, and I really encourage you to make your own healthcare decisions based upon your research and working with your qualified healthcare professional. All right, so let's talk about where toxins like to hide. They are in a lot of different places: in your kitchen, in your home, in your cleaning products, in your personal care products, in your makeup. So we're going to be talking about a lot of those. And honestly, guys, we could do a whole class just on one of those topics. But I kind of took the big meat and potatoes of this and wanted to put it all together in a way that we can get as much as we can out of this information. So we're going to jump in with the 7 categories of plastics. So there are several. And I don't want you guys to feel overwhelmed with knowing, oh my gosh, which one do I have? But really the most important thing that we're going to talk about is these are the ones that you want to avoid whenever possible. So this is going to be 1, 3, 6, and 7. So you want to avoid those, and you can flip that plastic bottle or whatever container that you have over to see which type of plastic it is. But honestly, it's getting a little bit challenging because sometimes they're not even marked, and sometimes you may have to get gritty and contact the company or different things, but maybe just take a screenshot of that. And if you're in a situation where you have to make a decision, avoid 1, 3, 6, and 7. And that's going to be our first big tip, right? We want to avoid the plastic water bottles. And that's really going to help us reduce our toxic load. Plastic is everywhere. And this is not a perfection journey, right? We live in a toxic world. This is just about us doing the very best that we can for our health and wellness. And when we have choices, making empowered choices with that. So number 1, avoid the plastic water bottles where and when you can. Now, why do we want to avoid those? Well, we have bisphenol A or BPA, and this is found in a lot of different things. It's found in baby bottles, in receipt paper, and canned foods. And what is the problem with BPA? Well, it's actually linked to weight gain, to insulin resistance or diabetes, to early onset puberty, a lot of different things. And we just need to be aware of that, right? This helps us to make those empowered choices that we're talking about. Now, something to be aware of is the acidity actually increases the rate at which BPA leaches. So, especially with things like tomatoes, I would really, really encourage you to make sure that you avoid canned tomatoes, or you get it in a glass container, or read the labels really carefully and make sure that it's a BPA-free liner. There's been some really interesting research about specifically canned tomatoes and the BPA leaching in from the cans affecting a woman's fertility. Wow. And there's a lot of women struggling with infertility rates. So this is really interesting and something to be aware of for sure. Now, other things that can also contribute to this, heat. We got to look at this, right, guys? So putting plastics in the microwave or in the dishwasher or hot foods, it exposes it to heat, and therefore it can increase the amount of leaching of that BPA and other chemicals. It's my recommendation to avoid the microwave as much as possible. I would encourage you guys to do your own research about what microwaving our food does with that. But these are just things that are very, very important, I think, for us to be aware of. Plastic water bottles that are sitting in the back of an unrefrigerated shipping truck for days and days at a time, again, they're going to get hot, and that BPA is going to be leached in even more. And this all kind of increases the rate at which those chemicals are going to come into our food or our water that we're talking about. So things to be aware of. And again, I don't want to come to this from a place of fear, but coming to this more from a place of being empowered, right? For us to make empowered choices and decisions with our health and wellness. So BPA is an endocrine disrupting chemical, or EDC. What does that mean? Well, it means that it can block or mimic natural estrogen in the body, and this can lead to hormone disruption. How many women are struggling with regulating their hormones? It's an obesogen, which is a chemical that's actually linked to altering our metabolism. This can lead to weight gain, resistant weight loss, insulin resistance, diabetes, obesity, lots of not good things, right, guys? And it can interfere with fat cell growth and production, increasing the number and the size of fat cells. I don't know about you, but that does not sound like a fun thing for me. So this is, again, where we're coming from, an empowered place to look at these things. Absolutely, Tina. Knowledge is power here, 100%. So let's talk more about BPA. BPA is linked to heart disease, diabetes, insulin resistance, weight gain, obesity, asthma, breast cancer, prostate cancer, recurring miscarriages, early onset puberty, reduced sperm count, and developmental and behavioral issues. So many things. And this is why BPA is something that we need to be aware of, right? So let's look here why BPA-free may be misleading. And this is really interesting. The Time magazine had kind of talked about this a little bit. And this is why I encourage you guys to slowly weed out the plastic, right? Because BPA-free has kind of become a mainstream thing, right? Kind of like gluten-free. Hey guys, it's healthy. And we as consumers still need to read those ingredients very carefully. So they have actually found that the chemicals used to replace BPA have nearly the exact impact on the human body and our hormone disruption as BPA. So again, this is where I recommend doing those little swaps, swapping out to a glass or stainless steel water bottle instead of the plastic. Don't be fooled by the BPA-free advertising and things that you find, and really do your own research with all of this. So let's talk also about tip number 2. This is avoid the canned food. And that is another great way to reduce your toxic load, reduce exposure to those chemicals or endocrine disruptions. Honestly, a lot of that food, when we think about life force or energy or anything like that, it's kind of dead in a canned food state. So doing more fresh food or frozen food or things, and avoiding the stainless steel, that is really, really important as well. Now, tip number 3 is going to be kitchen swaps. And these are other simple ways that we can use to get rid of those endocrine disruptors. So you'd like to replace your plastic food storage with glass. This is really, really important. And replace your Teflon or nonstick cookware with stainless steel, ceramic, or cast iron. That is my recommendation to you. And Susan, no, the stainless steel does not give a metal taste. I think you're asking like with cooking. I've not had that experience. So the really nice thing about this, guys, is once you make that swap, you're done, right? Save up those Bed Bath & Beyond coupons, go and switch out for glass storage containers, switch your cookware. Making those slow swaps makes a huge, huge difference in your health, and then you're done. You know, some of those other things like exercise, optimizing our sleep, our nutrition, those are things that we work on daily, but when we make these little swaps here, it's very, very easy and a great way to support your health and wellness with that. Tip number 4 that we're going to talk about is avoiding GMOs, or genetically modified organisms, genetically modified food, and the processed food, right? We don't want to do that at all. Yuck. Really, it's my opinion that we shouldn't mess with what God gave us. And there are chemists and labs altering our food and all of those things. And that's really, really important to just kind of be aware of. Also, detoxifying foods. So things like grapefruit, onions, garlic, cruciferous vegetables, leafy greens, all the leafy greens, those are really, really great for helping to detoxify our bodies and our livers, and that's so important. Cilantro, parsley, citrus essential oils, and supporting liver detox as well. Eat organic when you can. That's really, really important. Staying hydrated with clean filtered water, also really important. And consume organic, high quality protein. If you're gonna do animal meat, make sure that it is organic. That's probably my biggest number 1 tip for you. Avoid the char-broiled meats, because those do tend to have more of the endocrine disrupting chemicals and take a higher toll with our health there. And then taking a high quality, clean multivitamin, mineral, and supplement. I personally use doTERRA's Lifelong Vitality Pack. I really love that. It's non-GMO, dairy-free, and gluten-free. Do your own research on that. Now, I will say that supplements are supplemental to a whole foods diet, and that's really, really important as well. So we're going to talk about food sensitivities. These are not allergies, but just sensitivities that come up with a lot of people. So the top 7 are gluten, dairy, sugar, soy, corn, peanuts, and eggs. Those are really, really important, guys. So I would encourage you, do your own elimination diet with these and see if you notice that one of these is a trigger and you want to take them out for 30 days and then reintroduce them one at a time. It's my personal recommendation, if you are dealing with a health issue, to keep the gluten, dairy, and sugar out. Those are foods that are very highly inflammatory and they're not really serving you. So Jill asks, how do I know if my ceramic items aren't leaching lead? Jill, I would actually contact the company. This is where you can get gritty, do your own research, really research well when you're making investments like that into your cooking things. And Sarah, yeah, so heavy metals in fish is definitely something that you want to consider. And again, I would encourage you guys get gritty. You can do some research on that and find what works best. My recommendation is always wild caught fish, not factory farmed, is really, really important with that too. Okay, tip number 6 for us, use natural household cleaners or make your own. And this is a really great quote by Dr. Manisha G. Synthetic containing chemicals produce a byproduct called dioxin. This is an endocrine disruptor, an immune modulator. Okay, what does that mean? It's affecting our immune system. It's affecting our hormones. A carcinogen. This means it's making it more likely for us to get cancer, which induces the CYP1B1. And this is an enzyme of the phase 1 liver detoxification pathway. This can actually lead to an increased production of 4-hydroxyestrogen. This is the bad estrogen associated with breast cancer development. What does that mean in layman's terms? Using synthetic cleaning products is super yucky. It can affect our hormones, it can affect our immune system, and it can make it more likely for us to develop cancer. No to the no. So this is where we are going to be empowered, right? We vote with our dollars and our choices that we make. And this is not about coming from fear, again, but it's just coming from an empowered place with all of this. So my recommendation, make your own using essential oils, or if you like a do-it-yourself, if you don't want to make your own cleaning products, use the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate. This is an amazing, amazing product that you can use to clean just about everything in your home in a very, very simple way. I actually have tons of videos on how to make your own cleaners, how to use the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate. All of that is up on my YouTube video. So definitely check that out. There's tons of resources there for you to use. We're not going to go into this into huge detail, but again, just to let you guys know that you have options, and maybe in a future class we'll talk about cleaners specifically and how to make them. But in the meantime, check out my YouTube channel. I've got lots of videos on how to make cleaners, and I know that can sound maybe a little overwhelming for somebody brand new to this health and wellness lifestyle journey, but it's actually extremely simple. It is cheaper and it is safer. You no longer have to hold your breath while cleaning in your house. And isn't that concerning, right, guys, when we have to lock up our cupboards because we're afraid that our children are going to get into them and smell them? Like, no to the no. That's not good. Intuitively, we know this, right? Intuitively, we know, hey, we're cleaning and we're having to hold our breath, or it's making us sick, or we walk down the cleaning aisle of Walmart and feel sick. So these are just nice things, little swaps, simple swaps that we can do to support our health and wellness. And I thought this was really interesting because we see those warning signs on stuff, right? We pick up a cleaning product or something, and there's all of those signs there. What does that actually even mean? Well, caution, if you see caution, it says a 1 ounce to 1 pint is fatal to a 180-pound man. That's what caution means. This is kind of alarming, right, guys, when we start to look at these warning signs. Warning is 1 teaspoon to 1 ounce is fatal to a 180-pound man. And then danger is 1 taste to 1 teaspoon is fatal to a 180-pound man. So that is what those warning signs on your cleaners are actually meaning, translated into English, which is pretty crazy. Absolutely, Susan. Yes. So Share Oils is my favorite. I love to get the cleaners and the sprays and things and use from Share Oils. It's really awesome. More things. The cleaners, the synthetic cleaners and things, they can cause severe eye and skin and respiratory tract irritation and burns, pulmonary edema or getting fluid in the lungs, vomiting or coma if ingested. Low levels of chronic exposure can cause various skin reactions, coughing, chest pain, sore throats, damage to our airways, and overuse of these heavy-hitting chemicals breed antibacterial resistant superbugs. And we're going to talk about this in more detail. So Joyce says she can hardly breathe when she's in the aisle for laundry and cleaning. Right, Joyce, me too. Actually, just walking down those aisles just gives me super bad migraine and headache. It's not fun. And that's our body letting us know, hey, this isn't so great for us, right? So let's talk about Triclosan. This is an antibacterial agent. So both the FDA and the American Medical Association agree that using antibacterial soap does not work any better than plain soap and water at preventing the spread of bacteria. Finally, the FDA kind of came on board with this. Okay, what is the issue with Triclosan? Triclosan is lipophilic, which means that it's fat-loving. So it actually can end up in fat tissues, in breast milk. And then the problem is Triclosan plus the chlorine in our tap water can form this chloroform gas. And there was a really interesting study, I think it was the University of Michigan, and they were testing people and found that around 50% of the population actually had Triclosan in their nose, in their mucous membranes, right? Because it's in our soaps. It's even in some of that sports athletic wear that doesn't sweat. That's like the wicking stuff. It's weird. Triclosan, we're putting Triclosan in so many weird things. So my recommendation is bring your own hand soap. Just say no to the Triclosan. You guys see here I tag Share Oils in this, but I just made my own little soap that I travel with just Castile soap, like the Dr. Bronner's soap, and some Purify or Melaleuca or lemon. There's lots of oils that you can use. A little bit of filtered water works great. You know, the antibacterial, also all that antibacterial soap, it's affecting our gut microbiome. It's affecting a lot of different things. So we can make empowered choices with that. And here's some other really interesting information too about triclosan. So developmental triclosan exposures decreases maternal and neonatal thyroxine in rats. So things that are affecting in vivo exposure to water contaminants, disruption of thyroxine. So again, our endocrine, our hormone system, and the relationship between urinary triclosan and paraben concentrations and serum thyroid measures. So this is affecting our thyroid, it's affecting our endocrine system, and that is something that we need to be aware of. So my recommendation to you is a safer alternative. So this is where you can use your essential oils, and it's very, very powerful to be able to clean your whole home, honestly, with just some distilled white vinegar and baking soda and water. And if you don't like the smell of that, you can add on an essential oil. So Susan, I actually won't be sharing these slides, but you can go back and watch the replay and take notes, and you can screenshot and do different things that way. Screenshot your pictures and you can use it that way too.
She's asking because your image is slightly covering some of the slides.
Oh, so Andrew says you may be asking because my image is slightly covering some of the slides. So if you flip your phone different way, oh, nope, that's going to happen. So, well, hopefully we can, hopefully you guys can hear me okay and can get that information that way too. I'm not really sure if there's anything that we can do to minimize me, but, and hopefully too, we're kind of talking everything out and you guys are finding value in this too. But I love using essential oils because they're safe, they're effective. Now, again, the brand that I know, love, and trust is doTERRA. So my recommendation, do your research with that. I would not recommend using essential oils from the health food store or Bed Bath & Beyond or any of those places because those are not certified pure therapeutic grade oils. So a way you can tell really easily if it's something like peppermint or lemon or wild orange, something that you should be able to take internally. If you don't see a supplement fact on that bottle, don't use it. If it says not for internal use, run for the hills. That is a adulterated, yucky oil that we do not want to use. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about essential oils with strong antimicrobial supporting properties. So these are things like thyme, oregano, clove, cinnamon, rosemary, melaleuca, lavender, or on guard. These are all really, really great ones to support with that you can use in your cleaning or have on hand. Very, very important. And a website that I really love and that you guys may check out and have on hand is the Environmental Working Group's website. So this is a very great website where you can actually type in and search different cleaning products, different labels. It will help you to understand and make informed decisions. And the cool thing is there's even an app. They have a healthy living app. It's free. You can put it on your phone and then you can actually just scan something. So if you pick up a cleaning product or something, you can scan it and it'll rate it for you, which is really, really powerful to kind of have on hand with that too. And then I really love this information from Branch Basics. It's talking about how really this is known as the new secondhand smoke for fragrances, right? Artificial fragrances really take a toll on our health and can cause a lot of different issues. And they pop up in a lot of different areas, from scented candles to dryer sheets, to air fresheners, to potpourri, to fragrance sprays, to perfume, to scented hand and body wash. All of those things really can be having hidden fragrances that are artificial, that are yucky. And actually things like Lysol, these are neurotoxins. They're affecting our brain, which is a little concerning with that too. So, replacing the scented candles with essential oils. You can have your diffuser going. It smells really amazing. The dryer sheets, you could use dryer balls. I love Keep It Real Natural Living Raylene there. She has an Etsy store that is amazing. And you can get dryer balls that are homemade and organic and really great and add a couple drops to your essential oil and use that instead of the yucky dryer sheets. The air fresheners, you can actually just get little glass bottles. I get mine from Share Oils, and put some distilled water and maybe 20 drops of an essential oil of a scent that you really love, and use that as an upgraded air freshener. Make your own perfume using essential oils, right? I have roller bottles right here that you can use to put on your skin, and it's safe and smells really amazing. And then making your own hand soap or body wash. So doTERRA does have the On Guard foaming hand soap, which is amazing. Again, they give us options for do it yourself. They have body washes, they have different things. I also have YouTube videos about how to make your own foaming hand soap or your own body wash. So lots of options for you guys to have there. Okay, getting personal about personal care products. We're gonna talk more about this and dive in a little bit deeper. So the average woman uses 12 personal care products daily, and this is exposing them to 168 chemicals daily. Wow, that's a lot, guys. That's a lot. Men on average use about 6 personal care products, and this is amounting to about 85 chemicals daily. So these are things that we can kind of be aware of and start to look at. Now, phthalates. So this is actually a plasticizer, and it's used in plastics to make them soft and flexible. In personal care products, they serve as a solvent and a fixative for both color and fragrance. So we have these xenoestrogens or foreign estrogens known as endocrine disrupting chemicals. And these are things that block or mimic the transmission of hormonal signals in our body. So again, it's affecting our hormone, it's affecting our thyroid, all of those things. And the phthalates are actually obesogenic. So things that you want to look out for, things that you want to read really carefully, looking for words like fragrance or perfume or parafume. Those are things that you're going to start to think, that there may be phthalates in here, and being aware. And that's why I love our beautiful essential oils, that they are natural, they are derived from plants, and they are things that we can use as an alternative and an upgraded swap for that. So Susan says she loves the Whisper. Yeah, Whisper is amazing. Whisper is the woman's blend. It makes a really nice perfume. And the cool thing about Whisper is it responds to your own body's chemistry. I love that oil. So it smells a little different on each person, which is kind of cool. All right, let's talk more about parabens. So this was really interesting quote here. And 99% of breast cancer tissue contained parabens. Wow, very interesting. So again, things for us to just be aware of and making informed choices. So what are parabens? Parabens are actually a class of chemicals. They're a widely used preservative. They're found in larger amounts in more liquid products, and they are linked to cancer, to endocrine disruption, so again, hormone disruption, to reproductive toxicity, immunotoxicity, and even skin irritation. And they're known to penetrate the skin and remain in body tissues. Yuck! And this can actually increase the rate at which cancer cells grow. So again, important things for us to just be aware of. Now, their most commonly used parabens are methylparaben, propylparaben, ethylparaben, benzylparaben, and butylparaben. So again, you can be a label reading gangster, as my bestie Hillary LeMay would say, and start to look into these things when making choices on what body care products or things that you're putting on your skin are. We have a choice with that. So tip number 7 that we're going to talk about and give to you is actually switching to 100% plant-based products. So the use of brands, you want to use brands that don't have parabens or fragrances in them. Ideally, you want plant-based things, very, very important, or make your own products. Like I've been encouraging you guys to do, that is really important as well. And then the environmental working groups, Skin Deep Cosmetics database. So I love the environmental working group. This is the app that I mentioned, their healthy living app. So download that to your phone, maybe as soon as this class is over, and you can get that. It's a great, great app. I also love their Skin Deep Cosmetic database. So oftentimes when making decisions, I'll go to that website and type in search and see what comes up and how they rate those things and those products. For the ladies out there, we're going to talk about liquid foundations. These are used primarily as They use water primarily as the ingredient, and the products with higher water content actually are prone to bacterial overgrowth. Oh, that's not good. So companies use these preservatives like the parabens to address this. So something to kind of be aware of there. And Maggie says, Posh is great. Thanks for the tip, Maggie. So many foundations contain mineral oils, also known as petroleum jelly or paraffin liquidum. Yuck. Mineral oils, they can be carcinogenic, and they are thought to increase photosensitivity of the skin, which could actually make you more likely to get a sunburn if you were to go out into the sun. So many liquid products, including foundations, contain formaldehyde releasers. Here's the thing, guys. Formaldehyde is a known carcinogen. So mineral foundations can still contain parabens and silicones, and powders and liquid foundations are often contain those chemical dyes or the fragrances, the phthalates, all of those things. So a powdered foundation may actually contain silica, which is contaminated with carcinogenic crystalline silica. So things for us to be aware of as women, right? Especially because we're putting this on our face. It's by sensitive areas like our eyes, and making really safe choices. And we'll talk more about that too, and how we can be aware and educated consumers with all of this. Nitrosamine precursors. So there is a formaldehyde releaser plus a nitrosamine precursor equals a nitrosamines. And these are also known carcinogens. So between 42 to 93% of our toiletries and our cosmetics contain these compounds. That's pretty alarming, right, guys? 42 to 93% of all of our toiletries or cosmetics have these compounds and carcinogens in them. And here's the take-home point. If you wear makeup a few times a year, then don't sweat it. You know, it's the chronic daily exposure that we want to avoid. So if you're a person that for your job or, you're wearing makeup every single day, that's where we want to make those upgraded shifts and swaps and everything for our health, for our wellness with that. So tip number 7 for you guys is to actually upgrade your makeup. And the safest and most natural makeups contain titanium dioxide for coverage, so you can look for that in the ingredients, and mica and SPF for a shimmer, and iron oxides for color. And here's a couple of my favorite lines. I really love Crunchi. This is a new brand that I have tried. Actually, one of my friends, Lisa, I think she's in this group, introduced me to Crunchi. And so if you want to learn more, this isn't my swim lane. Makeup is not really where I specialize. I'm more in the functional nutrition and essential oil world. But I've got people to refer to you, right? Because I'm all about sending you to the best people for that. So Lisa is one. So if you'd like to learn more about Crunchi, let me know. I was really impressed that this brand had very, very good clean ratings on the Environmental Working Group's website. So important. So that is a really great one. Also Beauty Contour. And I have another friend named Lisa that does some in Beauty Contour. So let me know if you would send me a private message, and I'd be happy to give you that information so that you can have that there. And that's really helpful as well with all of that. And then there's some other lines there that you can check out. So Joyce, I don't want this to be overwhelming. I want it to be more just education and giving you tools and resources, right? We don't want to come to this from a place of fear, but come to it from a place of knowledge and being empowered. So maybe make one change from this class. Maybe you take one thing from this class that you can implement and have and make those changes and have those there. So maybe that's swapping the plastic. Maybe that's trading out for stainless steel cooking utensils in your kitchen. Maybe that's swapping to On Guard cleaner concentrate, or making your own cleaners that you have there, or swapping to an upgraded brand of makeup. And again, the cool thing about these, when you start to reduce your toxic load, when you switch the stuff in your kitchen, you're done. When you switch your makeup, you're done. So I don't want you guys to come to this from a place of fear and go, oh my gosh, Dr. Laura told me to throw all my makeup away and all of these things. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, hey, maybe when you finish the foundation that you're using, when you need to purchase more, you swap. you upgrade, you change. And that's the empowering place that we can be with this, right? Because we can either come to things from a victim mentality state, or we can come to it from knowledge and an empowered state to make those choices. So that's why I share it with you guys. Exactly, Sarah. One day at a time, one drop at a time, one step at a time with that. Baby steps with all of these things, right? You know, with anything really, with sleep, with our hydration, with our nutrition, it's just making one little change, one little step at a time that makes a big difference. All right, let's talk about lipstick, shall we? It's Valentine's Day is coming up. It's love month. Well, here's the deal with our lipstick. Lead isn't an ingredient in lipstick. It's actually a contaminant that's found in the iron oxides that is used for the color. The deeper the color of lipstick, the more oxides, the higher the levels of lead. And when I was first learning about this, guys, this shocked me because this is something that they're not telling us, right? At least I had to dive deeper and do my own research before I found out about this. So there was this campaign, the Campaign for Safe Cosmetics, and there's the website. You can go there and check it out. And they actually tested 33 popular brands of lipstick, and they found that 61% contained lead. Oh my goodness. Okay, after pressure from the campaign, the FDA finally investigated this in 2009 and 2010. In 2009, they tested 20 samples and they actually found lead in 100%. All of them, 100% had lead. The highest levels of lead were actually found in the lipsticks from CoverGirl, L'Oreal, Body Shop, Maybelline, and Revlon. Whoa, right? Those are all the popular ones. Those are the ones that we see at Walmart or the drug foods, the drugstore, all of those places, right? Very surprising. Maybe she's born with it. Maybe there's lead in it. So we need to be aware as consumers, right? Very, very important. And this is where we can come together and make informed decisions and swap to an upgraded one. So the FDA in 2010, they actually tested 400 different lipsticks and found lead in 100 of them. Here's the thing, guys. There is no safe level of lead. The only safe level of lead is 0. Oh, bummer, Andrew. Those are your favorite ones. We're gonna have to make some swaps, huh? You have to talk to me after the class, Andrew. Okay, yeah. So we want to avoid lead, right? In our lipstick, in those things. Andrew wants to avoid lead. We all do. So Andrew's gonna kick those lipsticks to the curb, and we all are, and have some upgraded things, right? And this is fun. We should have fun with this, guys. I don't want you guys to come to this again from a place of fear, but just being informed. It's very important. So lead, this is a human carcinogen, right? Carcinogen, when we see that word, we think cancer. It affects almost every organ system in our body. So when we're talking about heavy metal toxicity, all of those things, and it's primarily a neurotoxin. Things get really interesting when we start talking about the brain, right? It can interfere with normal brain growth and development. These are all things that we want to be aware of. And again, come from an empowered place. So maybe you just swap your lipstick. Maybe you ask your Valentine for an upgraded lipstick. Again, Crunchi is a brand that I recently started using and I really love. And my friend Lisa does that. Beauty Counter, I have another friend Lisa who does that. So just make little swaps, little changes is what this is all about. So let's talk about mascara, shall we? Coal tar these are ingredients in the mascara, by the way. Coal tar, this is a known carcinogen. Formaldehyde releasers, mercury, this is also a known neurotoxin, vinyl or other polymers or plastics. We talked about the parabens, we talked about the phthalates. Let's see if I can say this word for you guys. Triethanolamine, something like that. A nitrosamine precursor. So we talked about nitrosamines a little bit earlier. in the class. So all things to kind of be aware of there. And again, upgrade when you finish yours, swap to a better option for you. And there's several of them out there, guys. Eyeliner and eyeshadow. These can also contain parabens. These can contain fragrances, and these are being used on a very, very delicate and sensitive part of the body. So good to be aware of, right? We want to have these upgraded things. So Jennifer, the video will actually be up here in our group until March 2nd. So you can catch it and watch it as many times and take notes there. But then we do save, and everything is archived on my YouTube channel. So you can check it out there. And we do for my Oilers, they actually have access to my entire virtual library of all the classes and things that I teach there too. So make sure to take notes, and you can get this information too that way. So very important things, right? And this is where we want to kind of focus and ask ourselves, is what that's going on our skin, is what we're putting on our skin, something that you would want in your body? Can you eat it? Is it safe to eat? Can you put that on your body? And that's why we have those tools like the Environmental Working Group and their Skin Deep Cosmetics website and all of these great brands that are very clean and are aware of this stuff. So again, you get what you pay for, and you want to make those informed choices and decisions with that. That's really, really important too. So similar to with our makeup, with our essential oils, with our supplements, with our food, making those swaps slowly, one little step at a time, can make a huge, huge impact on our overall health and wellness with that. So here's a couple resources for you guys. Actually, the majority of this information in this class I learned from Laura Adler. She taught a great, great class. This is actually open to everybody. If you want to dive deeper into this and learn more, she is the expert on endocrine disruptors and toxic load and all of those things. So follow her on Facebook, follow her on social media. She has great, great tips, so much information, and it's so, so awesome to have that on hand. So definitely follow Laura Adler. She's the guru for all things endocrine disruptors and toxins and all of that. And then we had Dr. Gay, and then the Environmental Working Group. Love the Environmental Working Group. And then Branch Basics. That's another great cleaner as well. There's many options, right, guys, that we talked about. And then here's my contact information, so you guys can screenshot this, and we'll post this in the recording too. I apologize that you guys can't see everything there, and maybe I can make a PDF or something of the slides and put that in the group, so that way you guys have that and can see that as well. So this is the contact information, because it's sounding like a lot of people like that. Typically I don't do that, but maybe I'll make an exception. I may post a PDF if you guys want these slides. It sounds like there's a lot of information there, and we'll keep it up until March 2nd. So the gritty people can download it and have that and use that as a resource too. So that way you can go back and read, because this is a lot of really good stuff, and I would encourage you guys to do your research and see with all of that. But there's my website. If you are wanting a little bit more support along your health and wellness journey, check it out, lauraricci.vpweb.com. I actually do virtual private health coaching with people. There's my email if you have any questions or you want to reach out. If you're finding this information helpful and the classes that I teach, please hop over to facebook.com/Dr. Laura Ricci and like my page. You can actually, by liking and following, you can get notifications for every upcoming class that we do. I'm on lots of social media, guys. Instagram, Periscope, Pinterest, at Dr. Laura Ricci. There's my YouTube. That's my archive. Lots and lots of videos. We were talking about videos to make your own foaming hand soap, videos to make your own room spray, cleaners. That's all there for you, that you guys can do a keyword search and find that and have that there, which would be really, really helpful. Yeah, and Susan, you're one of my Oilers, so you have access to all of this stuff, girl. Not to worry. And then you're in this group, but if anybody's catching this somewhere else, this is our education group that we have here. And then the Two Girls on Oil podcast that I do with my bestie, Hillary LeMay and Andrew. We want you guys to join us there. So much education and support that we put out for you guys. And then that's my doTERRA website. So you guys have all that information there. And if you are new to essential oils, I would love to help and support you. And each month I will do a little flash sale. So keep calm, this is coming. So really, Scott Forsgren, he was actually on the Chronic Lyme Disease Summit, and he talked about that so much that we do is to detox, right? We're detoxing our bodies. But yet people are still unknowingly exposing themselves to chemicals like triclosan and all of these things, and fluoride in their toothpaste. We didn't even go into that. Aluminum in the deodorant, all of these things in our personal hygiene or cleaning products or stuff. And that's really one reason why I love my essential oils so much. And we're actually done with the slides, so we could probably switch over because we have a giveaway, right, guys? So I want you guys to know about that too. But this was so great, right? Because there's so many things like we talked about, the triclosan, the fluoride in our toothpaste, the endocrine disruptors, the things in our personal hygiene products or cleaning products. And this is one of the reasons, guys, why I love my essential oils so much, is they can literally upgrade and replace so many toxins in your home. Everything from your candles to the plugins to the air fresheners, the cleaners, the laundry detergent, the hand soap, the perfumes, the bug sprays, the mouthwash, the skincare products, all of those things. You know, I now make my own mouthwash and face wash and body wash and facial moisturizer using our beautiful essential oils, and they work great. And I don't have to worry about the harmful ingredients that might compromise my body's toxic load. So it's just something to consider and start thinking about, that we upgrade things in our home and we start to remove those harmful endocrine disruptors, and then you're done. You can check that off your list. You're like, woohoo, I'm done, and we're dancing, right? We've kicked those things out, which is really, really awesome. And then we can focus on other things like our nutrition and our sleep and those kind of foundational pillars that are really important. And then bonus, your hormones, your thyroid, your adrenals, your liver, your immune system, your kidneys, your detoxification pathways, they are going to thank you. It's going to be really, really great. So if you're new to doTERRA, if you're looking for ways to reduce your toxic load, if you'd like to get started with essential oils, if you feel like now's the time, that flash sale is coming, so stay tuned. It will be actually this weekend. I'll hop in our group again. I'll do a Facebook Live and pop in with all the details, so stay tuned if you're kind of thinking, you know, I might be open to this and getting rid of the chemicals and the yuckies there. I will have only a limited number of these kits. So stay tuned, and it's a really exciting time because you can actually get started in February this month, and you will actually get $100 in free product to spend in March, which is really, really awesome. So I think I'm going to call it the Dr. Ricci Rich bundle for you. So this flash sale will be coming. I would love to help support you. We actually have a private Facebook team just for our oil squad, where we provide continued education and support. You know, I come in here and offer free education for everybody because I want to support as many people as I can. But we actually pop in that group and provide classes and do-it-yourself videos and tutorials regularly. Tons of great education and support there. So we schedule you for a wellness consult. We go over your specific health and wellness goals, how the oils can support your individual needs. We teach you how to make roller blends, how to use your oils. So once you get started with the oils and the oils arrive, we schedule a video call to show you how to make roller blends so you feel really supported, how to dilute your oils, how to use your diffuser, all of those good things. And we walk you through that. We have follow-up calls with you. And one of the beautiful things and why I'm so passionate about this is I may have a new person come to me for essential oils, and maybe they start with sleep and they're using the essential oils for sleep. And then we do a follow-up, 4 to 6 weeks later. And they're like, yeah, I'm doing really great with that. I think I want to start using them for stress. And we're like, great. So they start to kind of work on that piece. And then they're like, you know what? I think I want to change my diet. I'm like, perfect. We've got supplements and things to help you with that. So they start to do that. And then they're like, I think I'm going to change cleaning products. I think I'm going to make my own cleaning products. Perfect. And it's really cool to watch people go through this evolution and taking that one step and getting started with oils. And then you see them a year later and they're completely different. They're making their own laundry detergent. They're doing all these things. It's so exciting. It's one of my favorite things as an essential oil mentor for people to watch and be a witness to that and just see how people change their lives, which is really, really cool. So I would love to be that person for you. If you don't have an essential oil person, I would love to be that oils person for you, support you. What people don't understand is it's a really big deal when you choose a person to get started with. with essential oils. You're kind of married to them, and it can be challenging to switch once you start with somebody. So I would take it almost like an interview process. Is that person, do they provide regular education? Do they reach out? Do they support? There's a lot of people selling a product, but there's not as many people providing that education and support and kind of guiding you along the way. So if my education resonates with you in the mentoring, reach out to me. I would love to be that person to help and support you. It would be a joy. So let's do the giveaway, right? That's everybody's favorite part. So because we talked about a lot and because people were saying, oh my gosh, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed, you know what we have for you guys? A Peace Touch Roller. That's right, to calm the overwhelm, because there's a lot of toxins in the world, right? But we want to change our perception. We want to come to it from an empowered place. We're going to roll a little peace on our wrists and behind our ears and over our heart, and know that everything is going to be okay. And now we are empowered, and we have the education and the tools and lots of great resources to start upgrading things and getting rid of those chemicals and living from an empowered place, which is so cool. So I want you to enter the giveaway. All you have to do, and this is to reward people who are watching live, which is so great. Thank you, all of you guys, for being here. All you do is post a learning comment below. Something that you learned, something that you felt was helpful, and about 15 minutes after our live video ends, we will select a winner and post in the group, and we will get this mailed off to you. So one lucky viewer, I hope it's you. May the odds be ever in your favor, but Peace Roller coming at you. So you can come to this from a place of peace and joy and love and kicking those chemicals to the curb, as Hilary LeMay would say, which I love. So this replay is going to be up until March 2nd to watch. So make sure that you take notes and have those, and use that for you to have, and use this as a resource. So you can watch this as many times as you want until March 2nd. And thank you guys again so much for being here. If you start to implement some of these tips that you learned in the class, please tag me on social media. I love to see how people are taking this information, right? Because we can provide all of the education and knowledge and support and all of that stuff, but really if we're not taking action onto these things, we're not going to see change. So taking action with this and maybe doing one thing, just one step, one tip that you learned from this class, and starting to implement that. And that can be a huge, huge game changer to your body, your health, your wellness, all of those things. But I always love to see what you guys are doing and how these classes are helping you. And I will see you next month for another health and wellness class. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And I'm sending you guys lots of light and love. Thank you for being here, and have a great rest of your day. And I will pop in later this weekend for the flash sale. So if you're brand new to essential oils, stay tuned. We've got a great bundle coming up for you. Take care, guys. Bye.